Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simp, and All Subjects channel. And as you can see, I'm already woke and going at 7:23 a.m. That's what we're talking about. Surviving this workplace-ish we call work. Now, I got a secret for you, man. Okay, for instance, I've been doing DoorDash and the gig since early 2018, I believe. I be telling people 2019, but I've been doing it since before that C scam thing. If y'all know what I'm talking about. So I believe it was 2018. And notice how I'm still doing it. Because I can keep work that I want to keep. But here's the thing that is going on in 2022. Y'all gotta realize that a lot of that horoscope stuff be the truth, like in terms of characteristics, character nature somewhat. When we born in the same time periods, in the same day, sometimes we have similar characteristics. A lot of times we have similar characteristics. Me being a Libra, one of the things that we cannot stand is favoritism. Micromanagement. You'll drive a Libra nuts with that, man. Absolutely nuts. Just look at Kevin Durant. Look how Kevin Durant went from wanting to rebuild the franchise in Brooklyn to wanting to be traded. And the reason why he did that, I already know, because we on the same wavelength in some stuff in terms of thought. Is because they switched up too much on him. Like that inconsistent behavior patterns, you'll drive a Libra nuts. You'll drive us nuts. So, I'm going to show you something. I've been trying to supplement my businesses with a job. And I've quit, let me see, 1, 2, 3, I think 4 jobs in the last 2 months. And it's because, not because I want work, it's because I believe I done got too old for these high school games, like these childish games. Like I just, it's too hard for me. Let me give you some examples. That favoritism. That, oh, he acts different, so I'm gonna treat him different. Like, it's not my job to come. I'm very entertaining, very good sense of humor, this, that, and the other. But my behavior usually adapts to the personalities of those in which I'm dealing with. Like, if you got a sense of humor like me, we'll joke all day. But in some ways, like, if you don't, or if you, let's say you are funny acting, you half talk, half speak, this, that, and other. Yeah, I'll deal with you on a work level, but I probably won't talk to you too much, because I'll pick up on that right away. So, I want to give some tips and pointers as to how to deal with these 2022 people in the workplace, because we gotta work. Like, and the first thing I want to tell you is, do not be afraid to quit. Don't be afraid to quit. Now, I would tell you to have something else before you do. Like me, I could just go right back to what I be doing, which is what I do. Gig work. Go right back to it. But some people ain't got these options. So you might have to just let them have their way until you get something equivalent or better. Because you don't want those toxins to get in your body. Your body is more important than your wallet. You don't want that stuff to get down in you, because it will. So sometimes you have to quit, but before you do, try to find something else. And next thing I would say is, so you won't have to deal with that, try to find something else. Make sure if possible, make sure you have multiple income sources, whether it's 2 jobs, a job in a business, a job in a side hustle. I wouldn't be the person that only got one income source, because these people will get rid of you just because they don't like you. Or they'll get rid of you just because you don't fit in with the group. It's not always that they don't like you. It's sometimes indifference ain't necessarily not liking. It's just they can't relate to you, or they won't relate to you. So you should already know these things from the jump. And like I said, I would advise that you have more than one income source and be building your wealth regardless of that new job, because you don't know what you're going to face. Like on one job, they didn't even show me where everything was, but then they didn't give me the equipment where I could have found it. And I would have dealt with it, but like they did it twice in a row. I'm like, wait a minute. So you coming up to me talking about I'm not moving fast enough, but yet I asked you for the equipment that I needed to know where all the stuff is, and you didn't give it to me. It almost sounds like you're setting me up for failure. Don't be afraid to see things for how they really are. If somebody is trying to set you up for failure, a lot of time you're going to know it. So don't be afraid to see things how they are either. But to survive, I'm going to tell you all of the things, the topics you want to avoid nowadays in the workplace. Number 1, religion. First of all, if you're a Christian, you ain't even supposed to be witnessing. You invite, and if they come, then you disciple them. If you're a disciple yourself. And then you start preaching and teaching the word to them. If they don't come, let them live their life. The book of Revelation says, let the unjust be unjust still. And don't hate them. Don't act different towards them. They decide their own fate, F-A-T-E. So don't worry about it. Politics, especially if you're conservative, especially if you are a conservative. People do not like Trump. People even make jokes as Trump fought. They don't like him. And black people think it's their birthright to be Democrats, even though the Democrats been secretly against us since the beginning. But they think they have to vote Democrat. So no. And if you're a Democrat, still don't talk about it. Because you could be working somewhere where they are devoutly conservatives. Leave that out. If there's somebody keep bringing it to you, tell them, hey man, I don't want to talk about that here. And if they keep doing it, it's now harassment. Because if you destroy them in debate, now they're going to be targeting you, nitpicking. Like, when people nitpick on you, that's why you should have more options. And sometimes it's going to be time, when they start nitpicking too much, to move on. Let God judge them. And He will. He will. I worked a job where they was trying to blame everything on me, even stuff I ain't had nothing to do with. Because their own little reasons, like they didn't like the fact that I came from a whole nother state and I was on the same level as them. So they was acting very childish, trying to critique and nitpick and tell a boss everything I did. And so I'm the type, eventually, I might reach out and touch you. You do it too much. So sometimes I just remove myself. That's just how I am. Like after a while, 2 years, this, that, and the other, I ain't gonna do no stuff that's gonna make the news, but I might jack you up. So you gotta know how these people are. You gotta know, and you gotta act accordingly. You gotta act accordingly because this is a chess game. And even before you step in the door, I would advise that you done already practically checkmated. Like you already done went across the board. See, y'all spending all y'all time. A lot of you guys are chasing women. That's definitely a waste of time in 2022. You know, you should be chasing comfort, ease. But you chasing women, so now if you get fired from a job or you quit a job, it's taking you all the way backwards. And that's why you shouldn't be so quick to run and have kids and all this, because now you're going to get emasculated. Now you got to stay on these jobs. Or if you quit, you got to go backwards a little bit before you go forward. And it's going to affect your kids. So, politics. Next, dating strategy. Do not talk about that. That is a big argument nowadays. And it's practically on the same level as politics and religion now. Like if you red pill, or you a passport bro, or you a MGTOW, or you black pill, or any of this stuff, don't tell them that. Be like, I don't even want to talk about that, man. Change the subject. That's how you survive. When they start talking about this stuff, because some people be trying to set you up too. Like some people, if they don't like you or they not feeling you like that, they'll be childishly try to catch you up in something that'll make other people look at you different too. That's the childish stuff you deal with now. So, again, no politics, no religion, no dating strategy. Don't tell them what you got. Don't tell them where you live, especially if you work in correction. Because some of these correctional officers are so childish, they'll tell the other inmates where you live. And now it's personal between y'all. It's personal. Because you can't let them get away with that. So now it's personal. So try to keep where you live a secret. Another thing. What you have. It's none of their business. I remember when we was in high school, and guys would assume that let's say you didn't like the girls at your school. Let's say all the girls at your school was 304s. You don't like 304s. You liked the nice girls. You like the girls that you can turn them into whatever they're going to be. Guys would be like, oh, he G-A-Y, or he don't get no P. Let them assume. It's none of their business. See, friendship is rare now. Friendship is rare because people be calling people their friends that you can't even call them up for help. They associates. If you can't call somebody up for help, let's say you get a flat tire, or let's say you got a bill that you got to pay now, or anything. You can't call them up for help. That's not a friend. That's not a friend. I remember one time, well, it actually happened a couple times with a couple different people. A couple times it was just a test. I just wanted to see. But then one particular time, it was like a glitch at the bank. And we couldn't get money out. And, some people couldn't put money in. So I went to somebody and was like, hey, man, we get paid tomorrow. Let me get as such and such, and I'll pay you back tomorrow. The dude didn't even do it. And I didn't hold it against him, but I looked at him different from that point. Because I'm like, no, you an associate, bro. You an associate. But anyway, we'll talk about this a little more. These is things that need to be done and methods that need to be used to survive in these bird box places called work. These people is terrible now. Especially if you like a righteous person and they know you move different. Oh, man, they ain't gonna like you. You ain't trying to push up on the girl. He must be sweet. No, not at all. Not at all. I just know y'all on garbage. And sometimes really don't be wanting them like that. I'm gonna go in the office. No, you ain't. If you do, I'm gonna get you for defamation of character for lying on me. Cause that approaching people at work, that ain't the move, man. Soon as they get mad at you, I told him I would do it, but then I changed my mind, and he was. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. But anyway, thanks for watching. Keep tuning in for more videos.